there is an argument that alcohol and I'm ready for my notes, and other intoxicating substances have some benefits if used in the right doses. So, is the use of these right doses allowed in Islam? Why not?
What you mentioned, that there are some benefits Allah has already mentioned in the Quran, which I quoted to you.
Yes.
Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 219, that in the intoxicant there are benefits and loss, but the loss is more than benefit. For example, today science tells us that beer keeps you warm. So if someone says that I want to have beer to keep myself warm, you can very well have honey. Honey keeps you more warm than beer. But you don't get the kick in the honey what you get in the beer. So they're doing it for the kick, not for keeping themselves warm. So people should not have small excuse having it. But at the same time, Allah also says in no less than 4 different places. In Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse number 173, Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse number 3, Surah Anam chapter 6 verse 145, and Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse 115, that if under compulsion, if you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is Rahman Rahim. That means if your life is in danger, and if alcohol is the only thing that can save you, for that time it becomes permissible. For example, you're going in a boat and you have no food to eat, fine, and you're hungry for many days, and Coke is the only thing available in your boat. So for that time, it becomes permissible to save your life. But the moment you come on shore, it becomes haram for you. So, as a last resort, if you're going to save your life, for that time only it is permissible. And otherwise, to say having the right doses. If someone says that fine, you know, I'm a social drinker, I drink only 1 peg. Every alcoholic, when you try and interview him, he was initially a social drinker, then he becomes an alcoholic.
Bus exam, isn't it?
Yes, he starts as a social drinker. Yeah, I challenge you to meet any social drinker drinking regularly, even for a year, and has not got drunk. And when you drink alcohol, today science tells us there is an inhibitory center in your brain. This inhibitory center is inhibited by the alcohol. So you don't know what you're doing is right or wrong. For example, if you want to go for the call of nature, your inhibitory center will tell you, don't do it here, go to the toilet. Now when you have alcohol, this inhibitory center is inhibited. So what you do, you don't realize. And that's the time you do things which are not correct, which are illogical.
For which you'll regret later.
You'll regret later. That's the reason most of the cases of incest, which is a very grave sin, you know, incest is a very grave sin, having sex with some of your close relatives. Majority are done in the state of intoxicants. And besides that, there are so many diseases you can have with alcohol. Therefore, beloved Prophet ﷺ said, it's mentioned in Ibn Majah, Ram number 3, in the book of intoxicants, chapter number 30, that intoxicant is the mother of all evils. And the beloved Prophet said, anyone who gets intoxicates in large quantity, it's even prohibited in small quantity. Anything that intoxicates in large quantity is prohibited even in small quantity. Same Ibn Majah, volume number 3, book of intoxicants, chapter number 30, hadith number.
So you cannot even use these substances medicinally.
Therefore, if it is the only medicine that can save your life, for example, cough syrup, just for the cough if you have, I disagree. But if it's a drug that is going to save you, if you have certain diseases, and alcohol, the drug you're having contains alcohol, it is the only drug that can save your life. For that moment, it becomes permissible.
I see. Take, for example, say a substance like diazepam. Now, popularly known as Valium, I guess.
That's right.
Now, that stuff,
Valium, Compose.
If you take too much of it, then you go high.
Of course.
But then, there are doctors handing out 1 tablet diazepam per day for certain people. Not necessarily to save a person from between life and death, but for other reasons. Is that okay?
If the psychiatrist, it should be a psychiatrist who prescribes. Today, where every Tom, Dick and Harry doctor giving, that's not correct.
I see.
If it's a requirement, where
you'll be very, very happy to know that in this country, not every Tom and Dick and Harry doctor can prescribe that, or not every pharmacy sells it over the counter. You need double prescriptions and so on, and that is where it comes from.
So there, if you know that the disease is such, we have got so much anxiety, which is detrimental to his health, and then the doctor prescribes that was the 5 milligram, the right dose. if it's required, not just, okay, you're feeling uneasiness, okay, have diazepam. So it goes to in a different area, no? So that becomes like a drug. So if it's a requirement, your disease is such, like super anxiety or really some psychological disorders, where it's required, then it's permitted.
I see. So again, it is a question of life and death when it
life
comes
or
to
death, or something major drawback in your health. A major drawback, not you're feeling warm.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, not that you're feeling cold and you want to feel warm.
Okay, so we have all these blessings that God has given us all over the universe, ni'mat min Allah, and we avail ourselves of these ni'mah at wish almost. But when we take these blessings from the universe, do we carry with the blessings a certain amount of responsibility, you think?
Of course, it is. See, one thing is all these blessings. First, we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for these blessings. My basic question to people, sometimes an average human being may be thankful, okay, if God has given him wealth, so he's thankful. He fails to realize most of the human beings, the basic thing we get is free. The most important thing for life is air.
Air, yes.
I'm asking you the question, how many human beings thank our Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the air He has given us? How many? I doubt whether even 1% of the human beings may have thanked Allah for the air He gives them free.
They ignore it.
Then comes water. Then comes all the, therefore Allah says, then look at the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which of the favors of thy Lord will you deny? Surah Rahman. Which of the favors of the Lord will you deny? So here we find that all these are favors. At the same time, we have a responsibility. For example, water is an example. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad said that you should not waste anything. And while doing wudu, even in a running stream of water, you should not waste it. Showing the importance that how well you take care that you should not waste things.